Now that we know what the eligibility criteria for the home care worker immigration pilot looks like, we can start focusing on gathering the documents to prove that we meet the eligibility conditions. The question, however, is what do those documents look like? Because we are still awaiting further instructions, which hopefully will be shared on the 31st of March 2025. However, we can still take a look at the previous iterations of the caregiver pilots or the previous versions of the caregiver pilots and the documents that were required to be eligible under those pilots. Let's take a look. Let's start with the home child care provider pilot and the home support worker pilot. Now, under these two pilots, there were two categories. Under category A, among the documents, not the only documents, but among the documents that were required, you were required to provide IMM 5983. So, this is what IMM 5983 or an offer of employment under these two pilots looked like. Both the applicant and the employer were required to fill out certain sections of this form. The employer was required to fill out this section and answer all of these questions: relationship to the employee, how are your care needs currently being met, and so on. And then the employee or the candidate had to fill out the other sections. You can take a look. One of the sections relates to job description. Employee B, what will the employee be doing on a daily basis, minimum experience, and so on. So in total, there were 5 pages of this form. The second category, category B, it says a completed Schedule 19B, IMM 5910, and evidence that the principal applicant has accumulated qualifying work experience in Canada. Let's take a look at what IMM 5910 included. So this is IMM 5910 or Schedule 19B. This is what it used to look like. Full name, unique client identifier, some other details, description of main duties, name of employer. So this was a relatively shorter form. This had only 2 pages. The second category that we're going to review is the live-in caregiver category. So this is what the document checklist looked like. If you scroll down, we will see option 1, option 2. So these are all the documents that you would be required to provide as a proof of having met the eligibility criteria. Full-time employment as a live-in caregiver within 4 years, you had to provide a letter from the current employer, contracts, statement of earnings, record of wages, record of employment, notices of assessment. Similarly, for option 2, you had to provide all of these documents. My advice to you would be not to shoot in the dark. Make sure you have all the required documents before you submit your application. Otherwise, you will not only end up wasting your time and money, you will also take up some other eligible candidate space or spot. If you have any questions about this pilot, if you are unsure of your eligibility, or if you have any other questions, or if you have any questions related to Canadian immigration, reach out to me and I'd be delighted to assist you.